Hello. Welcome, 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 welcome. Woo. We're gonna listen up to loops. So it's interesting. Welcome. Welcome to vlog number 5, where we're going to dive in and explore my childhood of trauma and pain. Why, you might say? It's interesting because it's the topic I've been kind of avoiding. And it's not so much avoiding, it's just like having a catalog of life, which we do have, right? You have a catalog of life. I have a catalog of life. You have a catalog of life. I have a catalog of life, but we need to figure it all out, right? Who is the writer of the catalog of your life? It should be you. And these are the things that we're learning too. And so Spirit has a way of talking to you, right? It's like, oh, you don't want to listen. What do you mean? You don't want to listen. What do you mean? You don't want to listen. Okay. Well, we know that you moody. And we know that although you go through your healing and your revealing and your transitions and your transmutations and your transformations, there ain't no transformation if you don't go through the motherfucking transition. You gotta go in for your win. And then the cycle of evolution of life, the more that you uncover, the more that you discover, the more that you recover, you start seeing the mofo like, wow, infinite. We sure are. Like, many lives, many masters. I recommend that book for a beautiful soul. Once upon a time ago, I recommended that book to me, and it took me forever to read. I probably have some history speaking about this book on my YouTube channel from a few years back. Part of my journey in this was to keep everything intact, no matter how much I didn't like that. First, say you leave that right there, and you go along. So I haven't been allowed to delete anything. And so voila, you have thousands of videos while I was figuring it out. And being so uncomfortable because I didn't want to do this. I'd rather write it out. That's one of my natural list of abilities. Yes, I'm an expressionist. You see, I'm always going to be an expressionist, but you have to understand the expressionist in me could speak to myself and be just as joyfully glee and happy, content to speak to myself. What you thought therapy was going to help? Yeah, it does. But who's your therapist? Everyone. Welcome. You know, I always didn't want to be pitied. And I never wanted people to feel bad for me about circumstance. And so when people would meet me, people please. See, people pleasing comes from what? From a sense of wacky lack of something, and it's going to be different for everybody. But when we go to the root work will be we. If you are here, you root work. Damn, Skippy, that's why you even tried to understand what I'm saying. You gotta be on a certain level of evolution to really activate this listening, which is the level up of if you come here and you're listening, bless you up. Okay? That's what's up. Because most sleeper weepers, creeper deepers, superficials can't be here. Just naturally, like, I gotta go. I don't want to hear this. Who cares? This person's like, you know, kooky, wookie. Go take a dookie. Let it all out. Yeah, let that shit pass. But right. So when people would meet me, they would meet me, but extra, you see. Extra, be dramatic all about it. I always wanted to be an entertainer from young. Ooh, here we go. Dreams. I was that kid that would say that when I turned 18, I was gonna go to Hollywood and be a famous actress. It's interesting, the evolution of ourselves, because that's not what I want to be. Although at the time, that is what I wanted to be, because expression was me and dramatic as can be. And that's all that everybody used to see. Oh, she's so crazy. You know, the friend that everybody explained before introducing to somebody else. Right? And I came from a household of hell. And people would be like, you know, because my family too, especially when people started to pay attention, because expression, artist, I'm a fucking artist. Always have been, always will be. No matter the degree of oppression you see that leads to one's depression, you see the omitting of oneself because you don't allow your wealth to stand up for itself, because yelp, we're under caretakers here. I come into this world needing succulate. Who were the first baby? Let that ponder deep. Scientifically, if you logistically, a super freak like me, taking on a whole other meaning, right? So, anyways, so I didn't want to be perceived like, and it was mostly to like adults, elders too, because other kids in my age group, no, tough be me. They used to call me Xena Warrior Princess for nothing. They didn't call me that for nothing. Because the Napoleon complex too. People think you're little, and so I always felt like I always had to defend myself. And I was like, oh, you think because I'm this small, hi, that I won't kick your ass at this motherfucking time? You want to try? Slapbox for life, raised by a male hooligan. And what felt like no heart, right? So where is your heart, right? We go in to capture the child, the essence. Anyways, so I never wanted that to be the first storyline that you meet from me, all this victimized cry. I don't want to be a victim in my own life or my story. Yeah, I have, in my whole entire life, have been pushed to share my story. And in that push, like, it will come out like in getting to know you, getting to know all about you kind of stuff. But you see the path that life leads. Because I've always been like selected and chosen later on in life, not my early childhood years. We won't get there. Because I was a wild one. Wow. Wow. Wait, what is it? Wow. Wow, dang. I don't know. I think I like you. So And I want you to understand that when I speak of early adolescent years, I'm talking early adolescent years. We're talking, my stories will go from daycare into elementary. So daycare, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade. Many of you, some of you have children in those age ranges. Many of you were children in those age ranges, so you understand the developing mind that happens in life. And here I am in my 40s, right? So, long time. I think I can speak for myself now. Fuck off if you think I can't speak for myself, because you still have mofos that will come in now, right? That will speak for you, like, excuse me? Who be you? Oh, smile, left, real quick, right? Brooklyn in the house without a doubt. Right? But even that, right? Because there even came a time in my life, we'll get there, but not in this chapter of vlog number 5. Where tough gal disappeared. Let some man come in, you hear? Keep me prisoner, you hear? My life was in jeopardy. Places we'll never go, ever. For the evolution, speak even if your voice shakes. The evolution of your own victories are the generational curses, cuts, being the cord that you're the one fucking doing. Well, you thought it looked like, you thought it was pretty. None of it is pretty. And this ain't gonna be a sob story, but you know I be in my Pisces moon, but I've been highlighting in Vedic astrology my aquatic moon, Aquarius. Queen of Swords style, like cut that shit off. Right? The balancing act, the infusion of the two that are there to help you, shadow and light aspects of you. I encourage everyone to learn both. But when you get there, learn the one as you learn the one and flow wherever it is that you grow. I find that a lot of my Western astrology, which is most common in our Westernized civilization, right, were my youthful years. And what makes sense for me now is my Vedic astrology now, right? So it changes and it's an infusion and it explains a whole lot. It's the shadow, what is also connected. I believe all astrologies have truth and symbolism in them for us humans at this time. So whether or not it was man-made, man-structured, and man-imposed and conditioned and all this, we can get into the root structures of those if you want to, but that's not what this is about. So I'm not going there. I'm going to go with what applies for me now, because we're activated in our now mistake moments, and that is what I'm responsible for. I'm not responsible for the root of that at this moment in time. What I'm responsible for is the evolution of mine. This mind. You got to go deep. So it's interesting how as the leader that you are, right, even in your own evolution, especially if you're fucking here, you walk. Seriously. I ain't talking about the other ones that be here just for other reasons, but either way, it's cemented into the subconscious. You hear, like, it's mana, eat the fucking mana, eat the fucking mana, eat the fucking mana, eat the fucking mana. Right? So what was I saying? So, what was I saying? Here we go. Childhood Hama. We're paying homage to the trauma. Oh boy. Anyway. Anyway, Crystal Child, you're here to help uplift the planet of harsh energy. These are newer cards, so today's actually really the first day I'm using them. I don't know what the fuck is happening, okay? We're gonna learn together. Because I have them here with me and I want to use them, and I don't even remember the name of the oracle. Don't ask me. Okay. I get stuff, and sometimes I don't even open them for a while, so they get lost in translation. Then that's it. Okay. So I make everything. So witcherutopian.com. Okay. Customized for you, because you're unique. You don't need to be wearing other people's shit. Okay. The same thing. No. Even if I never replicate anything. One. Even if you like, oh, you be like, oh, I like that one. I'm not gonna make this one exactly. I'm not gonna make yours exactly like this one. But I now got, and I'll see, because I get seen. They show what yours will look like, and then I make it. You know what I'm saying? That's how that works. So, right. So, Crystal Child, you're here to help uplift the planet of harsh energy, bringing forth healing and peace, and also assist humanity in soul growth and evolution. Exactly. So excited. Right, so the people please, right? So, in the victimization. So I never wanted to be associated with victimization because I already had a lot of harsh realities that I couldn't shake off. So it's like, you know, for me, something becoming absolute is like definitive. It's like my mother died. Fuck. That's how I felt. Fuck. You cannot take that back. Fuck. Like even, you know, the end of last year, around the anniversary of my mother's death, right before the anniversary of my mother's death, a close friend of mine had also taken her life. And the last time that we were together, we spoke. And we were in my room. And she said something that was like pertaining to like that. And I said, let me tell you something. And I remember because I felt it. And I wanted her to take back what she said so that she could really like just process that. Because she's loved. She's loved. She's loved by her children too, you know what I'm saying? I said, losing my mother young, that was the worst, right? Because I can't take that back. So it's like, you know, that saying, like, this too shall pass. Let that be one of your mantras if you find yourself constantly going through shit. This too shall pass became like a fucking prayer for me. This too shall pass. Right? Okay. This too shall pass. Where was I going with that? Alright, so you know, so definitive, absolute, like definitiveness, right? And where that stems from. So for me, I like infinite space, personally. I like infinite space, for it's never ending. Baby, you okay? Knowing. I talk about this all the time too. You can't fuck with your knowing. You can only fuck with a question mark. Right? So you have the ability to connect on a deeper level with people and talk in ways that feel heard. And that's part of you're here. You feel unheard in your life. That's how you've been made to feel. When I battled lonely, I was probably in my teens when I rose from the ashes of feeling lonely, where lonely got taken care of in this realm of existence. Like after that moment of epiphany, I've never felt lonely again. Even though for years the realities they don't change, right? Because you see the world and you see certain things for what it is. But you can't change the reality of something, change your perception, right? So the perception was shifted. So therefore, truth, my knowing, was absolute. And so it applied like science to everything else in my life, to not so much it eliminates any kind of harshness or off. It just softens the fucking blow. Let me help me talk. Hold on. She's off. Right. So it softens the blow, right? Right. Like for those that grew with me and can see my own evolution now, right? To have been witness to maybe some of my rage or not being okay, but always being okay. It could probably, I could understand. Wow, you know, okay. But just because they don't know what my evolution looks like doesn't mean that it's not real, right? So you too, like I hear, might be feeling like people invalidating you because of maybe what could have been a once upon a time ago. Be like, I'll still pop off. But peace. That don't mean that you're gonna speak how you speak and then see part of my evolution too is because slick with the mouth be me, right? Sarcasm for real, and I own it. Like I got something to say for everything, and those that know me will tell you the same exact thing. They're like, she got to answer for everything. it's been one of my annoying qualities. If you tolerate me and you're my friend and we really good, know it all. But it's not even a know it all. But those are name calling, and that's part of unconditioning. Just these ways of others explaining your eccentricities and your differences, and it's just because you're mine, you're well, you're here to tell, you live to tell, and that's part of your credentials, right? Welcome. You got a lot of stuff for knowing to do because you do the work that you need to do, and it doesn't matter the clock. For one day, each piece has its stop, its transforming moment, right? So you have the ability to connect, right, on a deeper level with people and talk in ways that they feel heard. Being able to penetrate their veil often leaves people feeling vulnerable, right? Back to the present. So we unravel, right? We unravel. See, for so long, like we can view our rejections as rejections, or we can view our rejections as opportunities to accept our leveling up systems, inner scope records, right? To its position at this time, for you to look at it for what it is. It's divine evolution, right? So magnetism. You have a natural ability to make others come after you, possessing a powerful aura that makes it difficult to stay away. Who here hasn't gotten a restraining order on someone or someone's? Because you have to, you know, and that's sad, right? People become obsessed with your energy. It's a lot of reasons why certain friendships of mine, so some of them are here, right? Wait, how did I say that? Old friendships? Because I didn't mean current friendships. I meant people that, you just, they were toxic for your soul, and they no longer are a part of your world. Yeah, they linger in energy, right? Right, so that was for me. So, anyways, so it's interesting because I spoke to someone I don't really speak to, and I don't really think, I don't know if they're here. Hi. Hello. That mentioned something that brought me back. And everything else that has been prompting and leading up to this vlog number 5 right here leads up. It's like a crescendo of like, okay, let me just do the vlog, because I know that I speak now, 40 years, right, with such conviction for a lot of things. And to someone that doesn't know me or know my story, or, not that I'm going to sit here and, whatever. Anyways, see, she comes out. Super mean. There's so many versions of you existing. It's the infusion of this that's going to be the alchemist that is you in this development that is wholeness, and it's an acceptance in most parts of ourselves, sometimes even the shameful ones. We don't want to accept or infuse and make that which it should be, like, in such harmony that exists. So we go deep and we just, we're the cup that we're filling, for our beloved. That's why I changed crowns too. Yes, switchingutopia.com. This was just divine, feminine, loving energy because I needed it. So, yeah, and you can wear it quadruple ways. You could also wear it as a bracelet, banglet, anklet, whatever. Use your freaking imagination. I was wearing it as a top headband too, like, which is really cute. Like, whatever. I can do it there. Like, okay, so whatever. We'll do it on top. See what I'm saying? It's adorable. I'm adorable. You're adorable. Yay! So. Thank you to everyone who has been supporting and voting and stuff like that, because, like, which brings me back to even the other trigger, like another vote. Thank you. I hope you're having a great day. But I was also able to help in this small way. So, thank you for the contest that I'm in for influencemetv reality opportunity, a reality TV opportunity show that I'm on and stuff like that. So, yeah, so putting myself out there is big for me, even if it's not real, let's say. So yeah, like, which is gonna bring me to the story where I'm going. That kind of like was like the final straw. You get what I'm saying? Because I was like, fine. Before this escalates further, let me just do the damn video. Because then I had my dad call me, and my dad is, me and my dad have had a very tumultuous relationship of love-hate, right? I am in a loving state at this time in my life, and therefore I love my dad, I accept my dad. We have a wonderful relationship as that's in my command of what works for me, which is great, and it's healthy for me. You know what I'm saying? And as I also don't really see my family so much. So it's great. You see what I'm saying? And these are the levelings of evolution that you do when you start taking back your energy and your power and realize, that I tell you that. Understand that you can't change it. And you cannot force anyone to see what they are not ready to see. Once you stop doing that, okay, that means with everything. That means with explaining yourself. Because you don't need to fucking explain yourself to nobody unless you want to. And make sure that when you do, it's for all your right reasons. If it's alchemizing you further in your alignment, because it's part of that time that you speak and you stand, and it goes with the game that I say to play, the stfu, shut the fuck up in every kind of way, and so you know how to speak in alchemy for you. That's not gonna fuck up everything that you have been working on for yourself up until this point. If you don't know how to speak, lead for yourself, don't until you do. There will be a time presented for you that will give you the opportunity to really say what you have to say in such a powerful, dynamic way that is your fucking justice. Until then, zip it. Because this don't sound shit, heats things up, fucks things up even more, and it don't help your mentals nor your emotionals. And if you can really let that click, just let the sutures fix, swim within your whole entire neurological system, circuitries, get all the brainwave activities fired up because you're activating every part of your motherfucking potential. And you're choosing the proper alchemy of behavior that is going to be for your best peace. PEACE. Right? And when you're activated and operating from that disciplinary state, because it is necessary if you want to elevate, evolutionize, that's it. Lock and key. Yes. Eso duele. It hurts. Especially when you are in the right. And it's not even about being right. I can't even say that anymore from this evolutionized state. Because I understand it. There's no right and wrong. You know what I'm saying? And I've been actually learning that in my now state. Working with people that are not in the spiritual state. And, a lot of different athletes and things like that, and people that are very worldly. And in conversations with their speech, there's right, there's wrong, there's this way, there's that way, there's where, okay, sure, you need to learn the tactics of the language that you didn't get taught because in your conditioned state, it's different. Or, even that too, like judgmental and all that kind of stuff, because most people are. But, You can't change the reality of something. You can change perception. You can understand it not from judgment, but of understanding yourself. It's not that I'm judging that. I just know what that I want and what I don't want. And in that, it helps me to be true to myself. You can do whatever the fuck you want. No judgment. But if it ain't cool with me and it don't vibe with me, we don't try, and you see? And that's it. That's just a reality check for me. No judgment, you see. Do as you please. But you keep the fuck away from me. Just saying. Right? Anyway, right? So, what was I saying? Right? So, a lot of things, you know, it's so sad too, you know, how conditioning will stomp out so many children's dreams. And fine, you gotta base things in certain kind of realities, but like, I just had like my dad call, you know, and this has been a whole big thing with my family, and it's come up for me, not to affect me emotionally, but because I'm on a different place, evolution, in a different evolutionary space, I had to have the experience. I get it, to see it from this light, right? Because a lot of, right, that's why if you learn, you know, some people could get so caught up back into the cycle of, oh, this is always like this, and blah, 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 right? Because even like what my dad did today, right? I'm not speaking negative or anything. It's just, it goes back to rewind, like what the person said, hi, about my childhood that I totally forgot about. So this was elementary school, right? I know I go all over the place. Listen, time and space. Right, so yeah, welcome. Right, elementary school for me is, so my mother passed away my last year of elementary school, so 5th grade. So when I was in the 5th grade, because my birthday is in December, and I was talking about astrology, so the VEDIC astrology and the Western, and why it's important to understand both sides. They apply. They do apply. They apply. They apply. They apply. They apply. So the Vedic side is applying for me at this moment in time because shadow laid it. But that day of shadow happened in my elementary school state. I chose a side. I remember when I was in elementary school and I was studying astrology, I was doing my birth chart. And in doing my birth chart, I came across two conflicting, but understand from my elementary state of mind, I understand, and I laugh at myself now at this time how I didn't understand it, but yet I picked a side. I did two birth chart analysis from two different books, but me not really realizing or understanding at that time that it was two different astrologies. I really had no idea that one was Vedic. When like I wasn't reading like sometimes Sagittarius could be, because we're so fast in our processing of information, we can glaze through a lot of things. It could be like an automatic and grasp everything, right? Like a Sagittarius quality, right? And then dependent on your other signs in your chart will play into that dynamic of brain wave activity. It just operates that way because you think fast, you move fast, you're a whole, like it's a whole other kind of right. So yeah, so I, as a small child, I didn't realize that, but this is what made me go with Western astrology. Of the two, I was so upset, right, in reading, because in one calculation, my sun sign was Scorpio. And then in another calculation, my sun sign was Sagittarius. and I read all the qualities and characteristics, and at that time of resonance, and still now too, I resonate with a lot of the qualities and stuff like that of my Western astrology. This has nothing to do with it. It's embedded in my system. I get it. I'm a natural state of other kind of being, but so is my Vedic. It's the shadow element of it, you see. That was it. Wasn't so much that it was suppressed, but it was hidden. It was locked away. It was more to myself. You get what I'm saying? And the battle, because it's so interesting, because even though I registered, so when I was choosing between the two, I didn't like all the negativity that I was perceiving that was being associated with Scorpio, but I agreed with all the spirituality aspects of Scorpio. Okay, you understand? So I'm like, I can't say I'm Scorpio. I'm not Scorpio. You know what I'm saying? But this applies, this applies, this applies. But understanding even at that time the evolution of astrology, understanding it from the cyclical pattern that if one person was astrology, it would start off, let's say, based off of the science of astrology and just based off of that measurement, okay? That's the only measurement I'm going off of. Like, we can all understand that Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, Taurus is the second sign of the zodiac, Gemini is the third sign, Cancer is the fourth, Leo is the fifth, Virgo is the sixth, Libra is the seventh, Scorpio is the 8th, Sagittarius the 9th, Capricorn is the 10th, Aquarius the 11th, and Pisces is the 12th, right? So understanding it from a numerical standpoint of that, then to understand that Sagittarius carries with it all Scorpio, Libra, Virgo, Leo, Cancer, Gemini, Taurus, Aries. You get what I mean? In it, up into that evolution. That's how my brain was thinking, right? So this is elementary school. And so, like, so I accepted the role of Sagittarius because it resonated, because I was fun-loving and, like, you know, but growing up, people attacked my Scorpio side, telling me I was secretive, I was not trustworthy, the negative side, like, it's just interesting, okay? So I highly advise all of you, and we can talk about it. You can talk to me about it because I'm excited. If you grasp what it is that I'm saying and you get what I'm saying and you want help with that navigate, I don't mind helping, because I get excited about this. I'm very passionate about this topic, and those that are closest to me get the love of this, you see, because you know what I mean. I'm a very private person, and I don't speak to everybody. Okay, even though I'm very public and stuff like that, I'm very private. Okay, so right, so I sided with my Western astrology side. So I put away the other side. I forgot about it. And it was interesting when this revelation was coming to me a few years ago, because I forgot about this choice I made. Like, not that I forgot about it, it's just, you know, it's in your history, it's in your story box, it's in your storybook, it's a chapter from long ago. I haven't read it in a while, you get what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh my goodness, it was just like a great, like, remembrance, right? Like, oh my God. And then going back, because the reason why it's very easy for me to understand my timeline and not forget specifics from my adolescence is because that was the time I had with my mother, and it was cut short. So I remember everything. Okay? So before people be like, oh, because even my family too, growing up, like, how do you still remember all of that? Like, I remember Scorpio. You know what I'm saying? Oh, hold on, I gotta hold my. I'm just gonna put animals before you. All right, relax. Anyways, but before I lose sight of, like, what I was really trying to imply, is that if you're challenged right now with certain kind of things, or you're rising from the ashes, we always are. Like, period. Like, I don't think that storyline ever ends. About, I do believe that it does get more alchemized and more peaceful if you want it to. You know what I'm saying? But you have to want that for yourself. You understand? But if to get through challenges in your now, Miss Day, wherever it is, and on whatever you want, look to your whatever astrology you have followed up until this point. Go to the other one for its solution. Do you understand what I'm saying? Many of you do. Whenever that happens, you understand? Good. It works. Hey, it works. Well, let's see. Who am I connecting with here? Your unbridled erotic energy. Ooh, you sexy beast. Okay, and its pure tantalizing form. All right, so two, divine feminine energies, divine masculine energies too, because I do connect with a lot of people when I do connect with you guys. You guys are beautiful, right? Very attractive, very charming, very seductive, very erotic, very alluring, very hypnotic, magnetic. You attract and you draw in whatever sex it is that you are attracted to. Okay, I don't want to go there, but you know, like if you're a woman, men are drawn to you, even other women. Like it doesn't matter actually, because you know what, I can't even say that because I've had I'm straight, but preferably, and I'm not saying that I've never like messed around with girls and stuff like that in my youth. I've explored realms of existence, you know what I mean? But always knowing what I preferred, and that's just period. I don't, do those kind of things, and love is love, like, wherever it is, but I'm pretty much drawn to the opposite sex for me, like, you know what I'm saying? So, whatever. And my type is never the same. Like, I don't have a specific type. I have a evolution, you understand? So, exactly. So, I've had lesbians claim me. Make me think, but I'm gonna get her to convert. Like, okay, like, so possessiveness, right? Most of the lovers that I've had wanted to own me, you know what I'm saying? Even those that were great for me, not, to me, like I'm saying, healthy, you know what I'm saying? So, and friendships too, where they're like possessive of you and all you do. Everyone, right? Hey, everybody needs you. What? Who's there for you? That number drops, doesn't it? So you are unbridled erotic energy. You're sexy. You're beautiful. You are exactly what everybody wants in your field of wants and needs. That's why probably coupled people, if you're single or whatever, are insecure around you because they think you won't want their boyfriend or their girlfriend, or that they want you. Yeah. So, and yeah, people feel vulnerable and open, and so guys fall in love with you, or girls fall in love with you, whatever you want. See? You're the perfect mate. And if you're here and you don't feel like that's what it is for you, and you're like, that's false, right? That's because you haven't gotten to the state of evolution of valuing yourself to really understand that, yes, you motherfucking are. You just haven't used it appropriately yet. I mean, not appropriately. You haven't activated that. You probably, and look at, because I hear you have at certain moments in your life, but because those are fleeting, and you probably go into that victim mind trap of cycles, even though you're intelligent and you can see past that, but still it's so easy to get sucked in because it's like a fucking vacuum, and it's what most of this earth is used to doing, that same cycle. And you see the behavior in every fucking body else. It become easy to just repeat the cycle, although there's something more to you, because if you are here, there is so you special. Like it's so like just an ordinary word, but you're extraordinary, especially if you're here. Right? So and for many, you know, like for me, like that's another topic. Let me write this shit down, that I have been avoiding, that a lot of people ask me about. Actually, a lot of people ask me about because they don't believe it. About my celibacy. Okay, and then that goes with, because I'm so adorable, I'm so cute, I'm very sexual, I'm very sexualized, like I'm very flirty, I'm very I'm comfortable in my sexuality. So my choice for celibacy has nothing to do with being tainted, bitter, or I just turned into celibacy. It wasn't an act of celibacy. It just became like, if you're gonna label it something, okay, because humans give and coin terms. I'm not celibate forever. I don't happen to different people's beds and don't have different penises penetrating my system every single time. Because selective BI, energy sensitive I am, and lonely I am not, and desperate no motherfucking I can't. You'll be surprised who I've turned down because they thought they were who they were. That meant I'm supposed to bow down to who? I didn't love. And it's not so much that everything got to be about love, but it sure ain't respect. And I'd rather be alone than be disrespected. So, and plus, I had come to the realization, and I had to release this a few years ago too. So I had to come to the evolution of to say that the most, because one of the quote, like I found in reality when I really thought about it, I'm like, I'm my most happiest when I'm by myself. I don't say that anymore because that's not, like, you know, it doesn't have to be absolute, it doesn't have to be truth. It's just like, you know, a cycle of life too, a realization, like, wow, you know, that's why now my piece is sacred. But now we're just becoming intolerable with that which we have allowed still in our atmosphere to even ruffle feathers. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't deserve that. If you can't be about the same kind of harmony, that if we're not synergy energy, we don't need to be. Civil be me, but that's it. You know what I'm saying? Right? So, right. So, I'm saying a whole bunch of stuff. Clairaudient. So, you could be clairaudient. So, okay, I want to talk about clairaudient too. Okay, oh yeah, well, that's what I'm saying too, about my celibacy. So, a lot of people don't believe it, right? And then clairaudient, we're going to talk about it because clairaudient, I'm leaving up, so I'm not going to forget about that. But, because a lot of people meet me and see how I am and whatever the case may be, and make what does that mean? Because the person's confident or secure and okay with, like, we could talk, like, you know what I mean? But put me in front of the boy that I like and I'm like this. I'm learning how to be, right? We all learn our own kind of things, like, because I've always also been in that kind of, like, you know, reality of life, like, with crushes, right? We all have crushes too. I'm not exempt from that. I had a real public one a few years back. That was an interesting ride. You know, we're not gonna talk about that this time. That's not what this vlog is about. Whoa, fun times, guys. Okay. So, what was I saying? See, laughter makes you high, even after you cry. I always cry and laugh, and I always laugh and cry. And many times when I'm laughing, I'm crying. Many times when I'm crying, I'm laughing. It's been medicine for my soul all my life. Me crying. I was laughing and crying at my mother's funeral, so you can't tell me that it's disrespectful. Like, people's ideas of like labelings and things like that, like, how can you cry? How can you be cracking up at a funeral? How about because my heart is broken. Let me live. I found something to be fucking funny, so I laugh. Right? The audacity. Whatever. Anyways, so my elementary. Anyways, what was I saying? So yeah, so a lot of people don't believe. They're like, how? Like, that's like one of the first questions. How? Because yeah, that's how. You need to. Part of my childhood trauma comes from that aspect of witness. I bore witness to cruelty from other people, especially towards my mom. That experience alone caused me to be extra prudish in my life. And hella reserved. Because I would not be spoken about like that. Nor will I be treated like that either. Didn't mean that didn't still trickle down into other kind of traumatic things to take place in my life, like physical violence and abuse. But I'm born from that. My parents were they were teenagers when they had me. Start the trend, right? My mom was 16, pregnant with me at 15, had me at 16, and my dad was 19. And they had a warlike relationship. My mother was classified as a whore. And the kids were cruel as fuck. And even after my mother's death, the rumor mills of her funeral and all that kind of stuff, going back to school, these kids could be mean, insensitive to one's pain. A lot of people said a lot of hurtful things. And a lot of people believed a lot of things. I saw a lot of things. And I had to deal with a lot of things. So the person that contacted me, I don't really speak to, and it's just interesting that they brought this up. So there was like a project friend or project something, I don't know, but we were test dummy kids in elementary public school. The troubled kids got taken out of class and put into this group counseling, and this counselor would come and we did group activities and we did special things. We talked about stuff at home or whatever. I got in trouble for this a lot. So from elementary school, my family like called me a traitor because I thought this is an open place to talk about what happens here in this house because I need to let it out. This is why I'm acting out in school as an empath, child empath, right? Taking in and not understanding it from that kind of leveling of perspective. And I used to have a lot of kundalini experiences, a lot of fevers I used to get, and these episodes because of my clairaudient nature and my ability to channel many filters of reality all at once. When I was a little girl, when I was a little girl, it was uncontrolled. It was not controlled. So it happened all at once. Like, you know, and my mother used to help me through them. So she helped me through them up until her death. Anyways, what was I saying? I don't know. Anyways, oh yeah. So this person brought up that group because they remembered me getting taken out, and they were like, "Remember that group thing you used to go to because you were badass or something?" So the reason I got put into the group is because one, I would be absent a lot from school, and two, I got into a lot of fights. Lost my temper, spazzed out, would black out, flip out, and fight anyone. But it was always triggered. It wasn't that it wasn't that I started with people. I had my moments. I was not nice all the time. This was only in elementary school and to high school, guys, okay? Hopefully people grow up and they learn from their own mistakes and their own character flaws. You want to look at it like that. I think it's one thing to do it as a child. I'm not excusing a lot and I'm not judging and stuff like that, but it's another thing to do it as a motherfucking adult. And I'm not being all like superior. I just find it distasteful because you have a choice. That's why people can say whatever they want about me, but you don't need to worry about me talking about you. Anything I gotta say, I'm gonna tell you. And there's like people that are privileged to hear information that I don't tell you. If I need to say something that you don't need to hear, that's privileged information. Trust that it ain't getting out. Oh, but let's believe though, like my ex-best friend and stuff like that, I know that to justify and validate her, she had to lie to all the people in her life about why we were no longer friends. Because she and I were friends for over 20 fucking years and never had a problem. And all of a sudden, to no longer be friends. This is someone that we celebrated everything. Holidays, my kid, like everything. Since high school. We watched each other grow up. And one day we just no longer friends. She lied. And to justify her lie, see, Spirit speaks in many kind of ways and degrees. I'm well aware. And decree. She had to upkeep. She used my history as proof of reasoning as to why. Saying that me and my daughter came into their lives. Probably hateful, jealous, envious of what they had. Fuck out of here with that trash. I speak like that because that story will be soon. But that's not what this vlog is about. Right, so people will try to invalidate you and use your history of abuse and trauma, saying that must have made you real fucked up, right? Anyways, I didn't know I was going there. But that person must want to still be around. No, thank you. I should have got stuff. Wish you truth and evolution. May you never rob yourself of that revolution. That's up to you. Right, so what are you doing? Right, so so it brought me to back. Like, wow, come through a lot of things, right? That has brought me to this mental, emotional sense of peace and well-being. It doesn't mean everything's perfect. Don't mean that you don't go through trials. It doesn't mean you're still not climbing that mountain. It doesn't mean that there's not a roller coaster up in here sometimes, and sometimes you free fall through that bitch. You know what I'm saying? It don't mean none of that. It's just there's evolution, there's revolution in you, and it will show. And most people that don't grow, your show is hard for them to accept, see, because they're not there. You know what I mean? So infinite be your speed, and so you move on. You know what I mean? It's just the way it is. Unless you hold on, and then you make the ride even bumpier and lumpier. Come on, you're gonna. So you dead. Do it again. I'm trying to be out this lifetime. Learn everything I need to learn. Evolutionize into that which is something other than human. For the next life. But a lot of strings be tied, right? So it's kind of like snip, snip in this life. Right? So I'm asked to mention clairaudient in a deeper way. So a lot of people, like, we're all sense and sensibility. We're all gifted. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of activation. Okay. So as you evolutionize and revolutionize your own transitions and transformations, you're going to activate a lot of things, right? Clairaudient has many different degrees. It's like learning the love languages that you speak. It's like learning any kind of multidimensionality to you. Okay? So someone can say, I'm not clairaudient. If you're activating, you will be, and you are. So it's learning how you are tuned in. And that's going to be different for all of us. And it will grow, and it's infinite too. For me, I see and I hear a lot. So one of my fascinations as a child, because of this one energy that you saw harass me in the ether realm, a suicide one. It wasn't fun. I would try to distinguish internal dialogue from external. So the best way I could describe that is that you ever have a dream, you ever are sleeping and you wake up because you hear your name, but you heard your name, like, or something. It doesn't have to be your name, but I'm just saying, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you heard it, and you like, and you wake up. This blog is not about where that is and what that is, to offer you even more dimension into many dimensions of reality that exist altogether simultaneously at once, in whichever dimension you awaken to your sense and sensibility too. But either way, you know how you externally heard it. And then you have other dialogue that can go in that you hear, like you know that nobody else heard. So when I was a little girl, because of all these different sounds, I became curiouser and curiouser. So my youthful draw was always Alice in Wonderland, The Little Mermaid, Belle from Beauty and the Beast. I'm probably forgetting one or two, but anyways, we can go right there, right? Those are my top three. Oh, and Tinkerbell, too. Either way, oh, and the last unicorn. Okay. Anyways, anyways, the birth. I am like a animal whisperer kind of thing. So much so, it's only growing too. Like literally, sometimes I know why I'm first on a road because an animal is going to pop out of nowhere, and so I'm the car that slows down because I like know. Like I remember the first time I acknowledged it. I was driving, and unfortunately I had to see it, but I don't think they were hurt because there was no dead deer there. But I was on this road, and I knew a deer was gonna come out in this traffic, and I was saying in my car for the other cars to please slow down. There's animals here, right? And I'm like, please slow down because there's animals here. Like you don't need to be driving down this road so fast. And right when I was saying that, 2 deer came, and it was cars ahead of me. It wasn't in front of my car. And the car fucking hit one, but the deer just got back, like, up, and all other traffic's, like, stopped and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh my god. And I'm like, it's not a fucking deer. It's me. Like, you know, animals be here. And then another time, it was interesting. It was going through a roundabout, right? And a lot of sometimes cars, they slow down, they go a little bit fast around there. And sometimes I go fast, sometimes I go regular space, whatever the case may be. But this one particular day, I'm like, I'm gonna take my time here. And I'm so glad I did. Because there was a raccoon crossing and it was going so slow. And I had like 3 or 4 cars like behind me, because they couldn't see the fucking raccoon, and I didn't give a fuck. Everybody was getting away. Okay. And then I guess they could see it when I got to safety, and then I'm like, all right. And so I continue to go. Anyways, but besides that, that's not that. Animals come to me, even the wild animals. Yeah, I love them. You know what I'm talking about, though? Yeah, they know me. They're so cute. They obviously are like my own. Though this is one cardinal that comes every day, different times. It just knows when I'm in the kitchen, and it goes to the branches that are by my kitchen window, and it'll scream out there until I poke my head out and say hi. I'll stay there and chatting with it for a little bit, and then they'll go off and stuff like that. But part of the game too is sometimes finding it. But he's always like in the right, within the same spot, and I'm like, where are you? Can see it because he gets, once I come out to say hi, he then gets quiet, like so I can find them. So it's like hide and seek. But either way, animals love me. Like, you know what I mean? Like foxes, deers, like whatever and stuff like that. So the animals are here. So I love them. So and I hear, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I think I shared in one of my blogs the story of my cat when I knew that I had to get to it. And it was, yeah, anyway. So part of the excitement of your activations is the ability to further enhance your knowledge, to know that which how you receive. clairaudient, we all listen, we all hear, you know what I mean? So it can come to you in many kind of things. I just want to point that out. It can come to you, you hear something that just stands out to you. When something stands out to you, jot that down. Start getting into the habit of writing down or mental noting. And if you're not good at mental noting, because they out of sight, out of mind, it goes, start getting into the discipline of writing down that which stands out, because you know there's something there for you, like just like numbers. A lot of people do the numbers. I used to post a lot. Like I have a blog, enchantingbabble.blogspot.com, that was my first jump into social media of like its own popularity and stuff like that. Because I started like writing like stories and things like that. Haven't been active over there because, you know, certain other things take precedence now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not that I don't love it, not that it's over. It's not over. That's my baby. It's just, you know, been a little busy. Enchantingbabble.blogspot.com. Yeah, and I used to do a lot of angel numbers over there years ago. And then numbers started, because I go OCD with a lot of things, and I like to understand a lot of things to the root of certain kind of things. Hold on 1 second. I'm hungry. Get into your knowing, and I look down and it says Claircognizant, which is that knowing. One of my infamous lines. When I was young, is a lot of adults astounded by whatever it is that I said. I'm like, how do you know this? I don't know how I know, I just know. When I had to plunge into the meaning, when I had to revisit this thing that I always said, it's funny because I didn't learn about claircognizance till my later years. Like, and meanwhile, that's what was my explanation of it when people ask me certain kind of things. Because, like I said, I've been reading since as early as 5 years old, and so people were like, how do you know? Like, you know, and like, I don't know how I know. I just know. It's acceptance, right? So, claircognizance is just you just know, right? And you know, so that's gonna grow. But also, you can understand. That helps develop the know and have a firm stance. Because you could just know and be rocky in your know. That was for a long time where I was. I would just know these things, but because I couldn't, it wasn't tangible, and because I had so much opposition saying I'm wrong and, you know, this, that, or not listening or not hearing me or feeling unheard and all this kind of stuff, it made me doubt my claircognizance, right? Even though at the end I'm like, whatever. You know, like, okay, something got to give here, right? So now, where you need to be, or where you're on, or where you're approaching, or where it's coming to, if you're here, that's the only thing I can think of. Like, you know what I mean? Unless you just want to know about me. You just here because you like me. You don't care about anything that I have to say. You just like me, so you're learning on that kind of way. Then that's still a subconscious root that's getting rooted into you, and I'm just happy for that evolution and revolution of you too. You know what I'm saying? So either way, oh my god, I'm Clairsentient. All the clairs. I made up a word, clairPOTENCY. That's be me, you know, and many of you too on this thing. Here, you have the ability to feel deeply into situations, places, or people, sensing something beyond the physical realm. In claircognizance, you're able to know things without having any previous knowledge bestowed by your higher self, spirit guides, or simply downloaded into your mind. Period. Clairaudience. You have the gift of receiving intuitive messages from spirit. It may sound as if it's right next to you inside your head, or echoing as if from another dimension, like what I was saying. So, yeah, and that be you. And, you know, especially if you're drawn to this channel for whatever reason, because I be deep like sea, scorpionic energies be me too, you know what I mean? Scorpio and Sag are lava. I call them lava. Right? They're always working on something ready to erupt. That's what's up, hypnotic, okay? There's an intensity in your face, like staring into a tiger's eye. Ooh, okay? Primal energies with a whisper of chaos and passion, producing a sense of excitement in others. Exactly, right? Demolisher, right? This is your spiritual gifts and stuff, the anointing, the activation. So if you're here, these things are activating within you. I don't care where you are on your journey. The fact that you are here to receive the manna, that's it. So you have the ability to step out of the past and let go of old energies to step into the new with ease. You thrive on change, right? So so this person brought that up, right? And so I'm like, okay, spirit, like, I see where you're going, like in terms of, because it's coming up for me because I've been advised to talk about it, right? Because I am a humanitarian, maybe you are too, right? So you're a voice for the voiceless to create reform and change, relying on the divine to guide you and protect you from harm's way. So a lot of like people's disdain or whatever, annoyance, like people that hear me but don't hear me, or get like threatened by me, or you know, or evil eye, or whatever the case may be, or like me but are so fucked up in themselves that they can't, you know, whatever. People want to meet you where they are, where they meet themselves. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, and all these kind of reasonings. And part of one of the things too, because I'm supposed to be activating certain people that are just hard-headed like me, like, you know what I mean, and that kind of energy, right? Venus, right? Like I've had a friend that, we're friends, we're like soul sisters too, but it's also karmic as well, because she's triggered by my success, she's triggered by my energy, she's triggered by certain kind of things that she still has battle with, but she's huge in her own right. She is an activist, activator in the spiritual community, but you know, when you're close to other people in the spiritual community who are really like, some people in the spiritual community avoid me too because I see. It's the same thing. Some people don't want to be seen, and it's fine. So you know, but sometimes you connect with people in certain kind of ways, and you know, you form a friendship, and you would hope it would go another way because it's this spiritual evolution, and still you find, you know, karma that has to be played out, and you understand it from a different kind of leveling your perspective. Like some people are going to be bothered by your leveling of evolution because they're not there. Like I have some people that are on it now, but I knew that I've been on it for a while, like all my life and all this kind of stuff. And even when I was on it from before and by myself on it, like you don't understand. Like I know whatever the case may be, like, you know, and there's a lot of people, there's always people before us setting the pace, setting the stage, setting the tone kind of thing. But when I was all about this in my youth, in my elementary days, I was by myself. Nobody was this was not trending. Sexuality was not trending. There was kids' parents that didn't want their kids with me because there was something off with me, weird about me. Like, but then also, you know, parents that did like take a liking to me, but still, like, I'm that wild anomaly. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, outcasted in certain kind of degrees. So, like, just be, you know, whatever. So that's why when people like the spiritual community now that be all superficial and all that kind of stuff, and they try to leave you out, I'm like, what the fuck do you think this is about? I don't give a fuck about you. Are you kidding me? Now you're meaning the rude gen. So it was gonna appear rude because now you're gonna hear my truth when I was just being nice because I'm a nice fucking person. But take advantage of your nice, right? They think just because you're nice, that means like I'm polite and I'm nice because I want to be, because that's who I am. And I mean, damn, some of us gonna come inside. Like there was a few people too, like now even in the spiritual community, that I felt some shit from before they even got to do their shit. And I'm like, amigo, I'm just here trying to be nice. Not trying to be nice. I'm not even trying to be nice. I'm being nice. If I connect with your stuff and what you're saying, and I see also why I'm like I watch certain things even if it doesn't apply to me. It's because I'm learning too. We're all learning from one another. And sometimes I have to see, sometimes somebody activates a memory in me of something that I forgot about that I need to go revisit. And that's why I'm watching a certain kind of thing, to see, okay, let me go travel back into fucking 9th grade now, when that was going down. Right? Because teachers are we here, right? Humanitarian, evolutionists, spiritualists, activists, activators, transformers. I'm a fucking transformer. So are you. We're in Aries season, so fellow Aries. My sister's my stepsister is Aries. I don't like to say stepsister, but I had to say it because there's people on here that be like, I thought, whenever I mention sisters and stuff like that, some people that know my biological sister, even though whatever, it doesn't make a fucking difference when you call somebody sister, like, you know what I mean? But I only have one biological sister from both of my parents. So it's just 2 of us. A few years later, my dad had a relationship that had children, and we grew up together. So that's my stepsister. Okay. Some vlogging. I don't expect you to know that information well. One of she is a Aries and Sagittarius up in the scene. Because that was the sign I claimed, you know what I mean? What you thought? Fire's in the house, without a doubt. Emotional fire. Because Pisces moon. I bring the fire and then the rain. Wash it all away. Hey, hey, hey. You know? So, right. So you are deeply connected to Venus, a fount of love, affection, and robust sensuality, bringing otherworldly pleasures, right? So, you know, so there might be people too that, like, can't and won't accept you. Fuck that. Let it go. That was because I'm mad. You know what I mean? You can't make people see what they're not ready to see, prepared to see, nor want to see. And it's not your job to do those kind of things, but your job is to be you and find you and understand you and understand you and express you and learn you and move you. Because you're the only one that's in charge of your avatar unless you give it up to what? Let me see. Who are you giving it up to? If you ain't orchestrating your events, if you're not moving your own strings, who you giving it to? I could trigger something right now, just be like, who you give it to God? I'm gonna leave it at that. Right? Give it to Jesus. I love Jesus, so don't even come at me. And you have no idea of the relationship of the energy when that energy was really introduced to me to learn some other fucking deep shit that was trippy as fuck and I was sober as hell. Okay. But anyways, that's another story. Me and Aries season, I pop off. My tolerance levels are non-existent. So, right. I'm just kidding. I'm peace. Kumbaya. But yeah, so, right. So back to, because I have to start wrapping this up. So this person mentions that it brings me into another revolution of something that I've been having to see unseen. You have an invisible force to you, an intangible quality impossible to describe, very alluring in a non-obvious way, keeping them puzzled and curious to know more, right? And a lot of that comes from probably like early childhood shit, right? Because here we go, right? I'm gonna say. So for many of you, I don't know if you know or whatever, I'm participating in a very public contest. It's called INFUSIONS TV, right? Reality TV and all this kind of stuff. I'm just gonna brief it because whatever. So far I have made it into round 4. We're going into the semifinals and finals. Top 20 influencers worldwide will be chosen to be a part of the first season 1 of Influence Me TV, finding the first you know, digital creator, like, you know, influencer, whatever the case may be, and it's gonna be like a show. You know what I mean? So, ooh, that was trippy. That was really trippy. Some of you might see a lot of things too, like, you know, learning to distinguish between the, like, something that's here, and something that's here. You know what I mean? And it might be intensifying. So you can control that too, navigate that too. So, like, for instance, I always use the example of, like, when I remember when it was, like, all intense and it was kind of trying to remind me of my childhood when everything was coming in unfiltered and all at once, right? And it was overwhelming for me as an experience. To receive, because everything all at once sounds like just static noise. Shh, you know what I mean? Like that Poltergeist movie, right? Yeah, that. When you can filter, so your acknowledgement of its existence happening there. Now you can shush certain layers, like, okay, filter here, and move things. So, like, I use the example of, like, when I was driving, and I see a lot of things. So when it became too much, too intense while driving, right? I'm like, whoa! I stopped. This happened twice. I stopped the car, and I'm like, I don't want to see while I'm driving. Like, leave this, like, extra shit. Like, let me just filter through this because I need to get to where I need to get to safely. Like, I'm fine. I'm here. I'm present. I get it. I don't need to keep being thrown, you know? And that was it, right? And didn't stop anything, but it changed everything. The dynamics. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully that helps somebody there too. But whatever. So they brought up this time. And so when I was young, one of the things that I was very vocal about was I wanted to go to Hollywood and I wanted to be an actress. And my family at that time discouraged me. That's not realistic. You know, like, people made me feel like I was in Hollywood, I didn't have the look. But I would do certain things and I would excel in a lot of things. And they never saw it. Dance, I could dance. Act, I did acting. Play the piano, I played the piano. Sports, I kicked ass in sports. Martial arts, I am kung fu. Track, I ran track, I got medals. Volleyball, all these sports, all these activities. Then when I started making it academics, honor roll student, leadership awards, music awards, math, science, English. Ask my high school graduation. I took every fucking award. No acknowledgement. Only in public. I never heard how proud my dad was unless he was telling someone about an accomplishment I made. No one helped. No one studied with me. They only punished me. I came from a very strict household. I wasn't allowed to go nowhere. That's why I would disappear. Violence was always an act in my household. Extramarital affairs that I bore witness to. Cops were in my house almost every fucking day. It was a madhouse. Nothing I did was good enough. And I was a troublemaker. Because I told the truth. And I was a traitor for it. My grandmother wrote me out of her will since I was freaking in junior high school. There we go. I'm not gonna say elementary school. Junior high school. We're not there anymore, guys. I love my grandma. But again, that's the evolution of me. You see, and this is something, no, I'm not allowed to say. But anyways, that's for you to learn through, to the love you have can be the salvation for many things. But you gotta go through. And you can't force anybody to see it or recognize it either. You have to recognize it for yourself. Right, so right before my mother passed, I had got involved with, I used to do a lot of acting, and there were like scouts that were interested in me. And I was signed up and ready to do these pageants, like the New York City pageants, like that whole kind of other kind of lifestyle, right? And then my mother died. And then I remember going to an event that was like a meeting, because they are like really strict with the pageants and stuff like that, after my mother died. And I wanted nothing more to do with it. And my dad was like, great. Right. So we let that go. And there's a lot of different opportunities and different other things that had come up and stuff like that. But then they were discouraged, right? Like, you know, I'm not speaking ill of them. I'm just speaking the reality of my truth. I'm not here to badmouth anybody. That was the reality of my occurrence, the experience. And so they would always discourage, like, before fully being entrepreneur, leading up to the entrepreneurship, they advised me to go back to work, to like my fashion industry kind of career, that was secure, and all these kind of things, and I must be on drugs and this and that, and you know, I would say I wanted multiple streams of income, and my goal was to work from home. That's not realistic. This, that, nobody believes, people laugh, nobody believes. Do you believe me now? Right? So now it's where they're hitting, even when COVID hit, are you okay? You need to go back to work? This and this and that. It's like, you know, waiting for this epic fail, right? And leading up into even this context, a few immediate family members got unfollowed. A little bit more icing on the cake, just based off of energy and family group text and audacity and lack of no support. And I'm just in my own evolution of truth right now, that it's just, I don't need to be part of this family group text with your negative vibes. That's not part of my tribe, and you're not going to do this in my current alchemizing line. I don't allow that kind of energy here. Sorry. Blocking you. Oh, and you know, call me arrogant too. Even had someone say, oh, I shouldn't be burning all my bridges. You know what I'm saying? Where's my lighter? Okay, and so now here I am in this contest. And I already went through all my stages of what if this is a scam? What if this and that? And what if I don't even make it past any round and I put myself out there and all this, and this is leading up, this is prior to me even sharing it publicly with anyone, because prior to me even going public with anyone, I sat on knowing I was going to be a part of this contract for almost 2 months. And for almost 2 months, I had this preparation, this mental and emotional preparation of all that I was going to encounter once I went public with it. And this was one of them. And it's just funny. So my dad calls me today. Are you sitting down? I need you to be sitting down. I was sitting down because I'm crafting. I'm like, I'm sitting down. This whole thing is a scam. I did my work, I did my field work, I did this and that. But either way, but keen observer, the eye, there was like a joy to the tint of his disguise. Like he was delivering information to me with an energy that I understand and I know it. There was a leveling of enjoyment to the news. And so I immediately connected so many of these other dots about the leading up to the message for this blog, about more healing dynamics that we are evolutionizing and going through for our own revolution at this time. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you. I could have quickly, easily reverted back into that insecurity. And I'm so glad I had 2 months of prep work experience deal with that which I already knew was going to come. Even if it is a scam, I made my peace with knowing that this had nothing to do with the scam. This had everything to do with my freedom to finally fucking participate for myself because I believe in myself. Fuck anyone's opinion. And even if it is a scam, I'm so grateful for it. Because it cracked me the fuck more open. Anyway, vote for me. I want to make it into the semi-final round. Period. But anyway. Let's just say it is. Let's say it's not. The benefit has already energized into existence. That's magic. He's like, oh, you know I support my daughter and I voted for you and I vote for you, but it's a scam. And everything's a scam to everybody. If you're successful, you're living a crooked life, it's a scam. You must have done something to get there. Anywho, believe in you. Believe in you more. Believe in you so much that it's enough. And it doesn't matter if it doesn't work itself out, it doesn't pan out the way that you think it should or you want it to and stuff like that, that there's just infinite space for so much to come into your worldly experience. Either way, I'm having fun. Either way, I'm cracking open. Either way, I'm in a different alchemy at this time. And woe to the person and persons and deceivers that would construct such a thing. as that kind of leveling of karma to themselves. If it were, I wouldn't want to be on that shit in the district. And it's not, I'm not even like, you know, but anyways. Feeling, you can make others feel what you feel. Your energy inspires energy. All right, just be careful with what you invoke or inspire in others, because it will come back to you. Exactly. Music has the ability to transport you to different realms by activating and igniting your body, making your magic rituals and healing even more potent. Mystical, something very mystical about you, which gives people the impression that you are very much in your power, and you are. Okay, mystifying. Okay, you exude mystery, teasing the mind with the unknown that will help others embrace the obscure and charge ahead fearlessly. All right, star seeds. Okay, you are a traveling soul from another planet who incarnated on Earth to inspire and heal human beings and to participate in the planet's evolution. Storyteller. Yeah. Okay, you have the ability to express life through stories and enhance your magic with symbols. Yes. Okay, Spirit may also communicate with you through synchronicities. Okay, so beautiful. So bringing back the whole like purpose of childhood trauma and pain, like grateful. I am grateful. Power affirmation activation. I am grateful for my evolution, for it has allowed me to not be so triggered so easily. Even when a trigger triggers, I go into it healthily, wealthily, stealthily, seeing it for what it is. Now, granted, even though he said he was just looking out for me, the prompting of his energy towards me is the disbelief of his limiting beliefs. Here I am approaching semifinals, and then after that, I have the possibility of being on season 1 Influence Me TV reality show. And the encouragement that I receive is to tell me that it's a scam, that it can't be. Don't let anyone dictate what's for you and what is not for you. What messages from this beautiful deck that can be offered now in abundant fortune and motivation that is inspiring for those listening to this awesome vlog number 5? I might have to start. Vote for me, link will be in the description box. Yay! So far, and mind you, since the start of this competition, I have been leading in my category, ranked number 1. Yay! Some of you might be so damn humble that you don't even celebrate your little mini successes or speak highly of yourself, because so many people have not spoken highly of you and have made you feel like when you have, or when you've said something, anything that was in honor of you and love with you, they discarded that too. Rise, for you are plenty. Seeker. Your natural thirst for wisdom and truth elevates your spiritual journey and self-awareness to help those that are also in search of answers in their own path. Earth. You have a strong connection to Earth, making you great at Earth magic. You are a pillar of strength with firm boundaries who demand respect in a very graceful manner. Old soul, you have been around many lifetimes and have chosen to be reborn, to evolve and carry on your learning journey from where you left it in your previous life. Clairaudience. You possess clear vision, perceiving with the mind's eye. It's my neighbor. Hold on a second. I'm hungry. Also, I'm my mom. So, you can take a bowl. Come here. My cat, Shiva and Andromeda. This is Shiva. They're half Obsidian and Tabby. Here, this one is a custom for a mermaid, the one that I had on before. Yeah, with utopia.com. Anyways, I gotta start going. What other spiritual gifts need to be highlighted at this time if you have bigger ears on? Her ears are bigger than her. What? Arouser. Are you in a arouser? Welcome. Use that power wisely. I met a spiritually divine, I don't want to say feminine, divine feminine energy that was still very much in her toxicity, is using her divine feminine energy to seduce and control and manipulate men. Because she could. And she was consciously aware of her sexual prowess, keeping her divine masculine, everyone being her king. If everyone you date is your king, you king for that time. And so you wake up and be like, he's not mine, it's everybody else. You know what I mean? You provoke sexual arousal, like a phantom dancing with them in a vibrational dance to enchant, tease, entice, and play with their most deepest hidden desires. It plays a lot. That's why they think about you a lot, because you is hot. Wild card. Alright, you are unpredictable and your qualities are uncertain. You can't be held down. Nobody knows what to expect from you, not even you, a jack of all trades. So during this time too, the casting directors and the celebrity judges are checking out the competitors now, because now it's top 5. So I made it into the top 5, ranked number 1, hopefully. Okay, which you have a strong connection to the universe that is developed through study and practice. You can live an empowered life that brings forth positive changes. Damn, motherfucking straight. Those that come up in here have this very much potential, you hear, right? So channel it, okay? So yeah, that would make sense. The channeling experience. So a lot of people started contacting me a few years back, like when I started doing my YouTube channel, because I came across people that maybe, like a lot of people that were diagnosed like with schizophrenia and things like that, and finding that how I speak and how I express things and how I say, they know that I know that I can understand their world, And so they become intrigued by my perception of these things that they too may see or hear. But, you know, sometimes when you're diagnosed with certain kind of things, you take certain kind of medications and, or you have certain deliberations based on your sentencing. You know what I mean? So tarot. With a heightened consciousness, having power to channel divine messages, you have the ability to open people's eyes to the unforeseen. Okay. Warrior. You have a warrior spirit. Look at this, like what I have on my head. You have a warrior spirit, not afraid to face conflict and challenges while at the same time remain committed to a path of goodwill and fairness. Yes, yes. Do what is right. Many of you are learning that now. Because once you're conscious of the seeds you sow, that makes you accountable and responsible. What's done out of ignorance is ignorance. What's done intentionally is intentional. And so one must do what is right. There's no right or wrong. So how does one know what to do, what is right? When you sleep at night. But what about a psychopath, you see, who can sleep at night knowing that he went on a killing spree? You know what I mean? Different degree. Leave that be for the professionals that can handle such a thing. Performer. You are meant to be in the spotlight and be successful doing it with a natural ability to draw a crowd and influence others with your charm and talent. One time, so I've been also getting confident with singing, right? It doesn't matter about being a professional singer or anything like that, but because I've always sang, I've had a lot of people be discouraging about it too. Mind you, I was in chorus for 3 years too, so I'm very good. I probably would be excellent vocal training somebody else that's like a professional singer or something like that, like in terms of song tuning and depth and stuff like that, which I can carry a tune really, really well. But you know, I write music, so it would be natural that I would be to sing. Like it doesn't mean I have to be a professional singer or anything like that, but just, you know, being empowered with my voice. And I remember when I started to like just not care who heard me sing, I was at a family gathering and we always do like a happy birthday kind of thing or whatever, like that. So everybody started singing this kind of song. I don't remember what the song was. But for once I said I didn't care. I didn't dim down my sound because I'm loud. I'm soprano 1. My voice goes loud and I can crescendo. I can sing opera too. Yeah, I'm not saying I can do it good or anything like that, but like to go into those kind of octaves of sound and stuff, like I can do it, right? I do it for meditations. I sing a lot. I do a lot of those kind of things, and I let my voice be heard. So typically, like even at a show in junior high school, right, when I was in chorus, right, the day of the performance, I lip sync most of the time because my voice is loud. I have a loud singing voice. There's no way in hell that I'm singing. Even when I would sing like alto range, like I'm just my voice is heard. You hear me? Okay, like you know, and so there's no muffling that except through lip singing. So because you know it's spotlight, right? I lip synced a lot and whatever. Even when I played American Idol and I would win, everybody would be so mad because I didn't really feel that anybody hear me sing, but I hit every note and key really low. Like, and still they wouldn't hear, and I would blend in with the sound of the thing, so I can harmonize really well. And so one day at this party, I let myself be heard, and the immediate response from someone that also, this was also part of from last year too, that I followed too, and mind you, it's first cousin dynamic as well. I just want you to understand the immediate line of this kind of stuff. It's like, Jennifer! That was the response to my singing voice in a group of a lot of people. When I finally let myself for the first time, I don't know what year that was in my life, maybe something new. Did it sound bad? Probably not. Did it sound grand? I don't really fucking know. But why does my voice bother you so much? Right? So don't let people try to dim you down because they're uncomfortable with your fucking life. That's a projection of how they feel about themselves, inferior in your presence. That doesn't make you superior to them, although that's how they make you feel or think that you think, because empathic be you to understand their leveling too, but they're pointing it at you. She wants to be a singer. That's a cute voice. Good luck. Best of luck. Follow your dreams. See. You okay, puppy? You can suck people in without them even knowing. You showcase your sexuality, but only a few get a chance to play with you, making you a master in teasing. I can call it these. I'm not pretty good. No, blue ball for days. Control yourself. Discernment. You're very particular about the type of person you let in. Very protective of yourself. Others feel they must approach you right, which makes it hard to fool you. Overcome. Okay, having gone into battle with your own dark side, you can see the divinity and sacred elements in the darkness and in destruction. Don't do it. Neil. I was about to walk over a whole bunch of shit. So, my childhood trauma and pain, I've overcome in every kind of way to speak like this is the power activate. Don't just listen to me, I'm only sharing my side of things, but it's to activate within you that which is possible for you too, because infinitely you and this expansion of the evolution that is the revolution of you. Okay? So, I already am the example. Lean. But I'll still be learning. Right? Nurture. A life-changing gift is the influence of a nurturing woman that provides love, support, protection, and encouragement to teach others to grow and develop. Music is popping up. Musicians up in here, artists too, and every kind of degree too. That be you. Oh, I love you. Okay, so music has the ability to transport you to different realms by activating and igniting your body, making your magic rituals and healing even more potent. Again. All right. Fortune. Yes, you are. You have a pioneering spirit that can manifest abundance easily. All that you touch turns to gold, Midas touch, right? Luck seems to be on your side. Alchemy, you know what I mean? Star seeds. Yeah, stay shining. You are a traveling soul from another planet who incarnated on Earth to inspire and heal human beings and to participate in the planet's evolution. May the tongues of venomous souls be silenced, truth be told, and so they feel the righteousness of this wind, that they must go in for their own evolutionary spin and call that profiting. Hope. You offer the most valuable gift there is, hope. Through your optimism and support, you inspire hope in others. You can do it. They can do it. Right? A lot of messages are repeating hypnotic. There's an intensity in your face like staring into a tiger's eyes, primal energies with a whisper of chaos and passion producing a sense of excitement in others. So there's a lot of things to be excited about, okay? So, thank you so much for listening to my vlog 5. I know that I go in and I still tell the way that I do, but that's just a sense, and that's where I'm comfortable too to share with you on those kind of levels of sense. The whole purpose of this was to share with you that a lot of the stuff that can happen in regards to our sense of fulfillment and achievement stem from our early childhood years. And so it is with this vision of sight that you see that you move through your emotional waters, you know what I mean, to find the cyclical, right, to find the wave, to ride the wave, to understand the wave, to crash, to burn, right, to get into your whole grouping that is your home, your whole terror, your whole line that you are here to protect, right? You are here to protect that which you protect, right? That which protect. Because you're healing. And it's revealing a lot of stuff to you at this time. That's the arcana of life, right? This cycle, this here, this guide that's guiding you through this travel, this transformation, this revolution, this evolution, right? It's a death cycle process that is really, that takes time. That takes fucking time. That takes time, right? Because it's the cycle of life, right? That's being illuminated for you. And luck is on your side too, right? Don't be fooled by any kind of deceit that wants to come in, right? You crush it at its feet because that bond, what bond you create, what soul, look at the squirrel, the nut, right? The nutmeg, the nut here, the root, the bonding of you, the science that which forges things together, that creates this atom and this molecule to just bond, like to forge this harmony, right? But this nut, right? It's like, right, like this growth here is for this balance, right? So this bonding, this new bonding, right? So it's like, you know, it's just like the same thing like with the skin, or like, and how our cells regenerate every couple of years. But our cells are always regenerating. You can say like, you know, whatever the case may be, and it can give you a time span of whatever you want to be, but that's just human reasoning with a lot of things. But you know, there's just a lot of things that go into time. And so you gotta trust your intuition at this time, no matter what you are receiving from the outside, right? Because there is tons of wealth, right? And to release all that is needed for you to release at this time as you go in. And it's a lot of labor, but it's for the simplicity of your own life too at this time. What you're creating for yourself, right? And everything takes time, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah. All right. So yeah. So I hope that there was plenty of manna for you to hope and eat, receive, and find peace in your own healing journey. And may some of the stories shared have been helpful to you, that help connect some more dots for you in regards to all that you do. If you like a lot of the crowning adornments that can be worn quadruple plus ways, I customize and make that for you. But here on my plate that I'm working on at this time, like these are going out and they're going through their own multi-dimensional process. They want to do anklet too. We're shipping this one out. This Earth Goddess, right? This one too. This an anklet. This one was actually size. It's beautiful. Here, right? This is another anklet too. This one is stretchy too. This is without that, but it's just, this one goes just right on without the clasp. These other ones want the clasp. When you order from my website, you have the opportunity to choose the type of closure that you want on all of these. If you want close the clasp and stuff like that, you can get that, like, you know. And there's also magnetic clasp choices too. And then you can just have it stretchy too. So it's all up to you, like what you want to do. Everything's customized for you. Two, you can wear it however you want. You know what I'm saying? My favorite is on the head. You know, we are protected from the head to the toe. I am dividing leg, guided and protected. Head on, crown, down to my toes. Woo, woo, woo. I love the way it feels, right? What are these? Oh, yeah. This is the mermaid for the summer fun. You know, mermaid specials. Get your little bikini. This one is, these are all got, these are, except this one, I make a lot of stuff, and when I show it and stuff, like they're showroom examples, that means that they're mine, because I wear these things all the time, but these are gone, they're gonna be shipping out and stuff like that, and sent out, so I'm showing them before they go. It's like, these are, yeah, and there's also more later. But those I had next to me and stuff like that. And so this one too, I made the other day. Because I had been wanting to make a prosperity one here. And so, like, I just was playing around with the color. I got, like, on the camera. I don't know how to do it right. I know it's sideways, but I need a mirror. Just want a mirror. Just fine mirror, though. I will do the job. So yeah, I know myself like they can. Oh, it's a good one. All that. So this is the self-love, divine feminine, mastering the alchemy. Bring love to me. You are the love seed that you breathe and attract and draw out. So, you know what I mean? So you do it. You wear it to the ankle too. Sorry. Okay. So, right. So, yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, sometimes the squirrels scream, so that's not. He's scream. I'll talk to me. Especially if I take too long. Right? So, blast from the past. And next turn on again, off again, lover may come back. Is it worth revisiting the past? So that's kind of like the imagery of what I had said about, you know, the triggers that might happen for you to reflect upon that which has occurred for your own evolution now, right? Blast from the past want to come out again, right? So, yeah. So rocky start can lead to happy endings. You'll have to decide if it's worth the fight. The choice will be yours. Mature relationship, you're ready for these kind of things, whether you're older or not. This is relationship stuff, but whatever way, like the relationship that you have with yourself first is what's necessary and important here. So, you know, you're ready too for a certain kind of leveling, right? Unspoken love, this sort of thing. So this is a love story right here, but we're not going to go there because this is my blog, and we'll save that. And I also have still to do from the divine cup of topics to the topic that's coming for the next pick a card is this one here. What false narrative, belief, shortcomings, fuck up about yourself do you need to address and transmute the fuck out of right now? All right, so we're gonna be doing that as a pick a pile card. Often, and stay tuned for this affair, intellectual affair coming soon. There will be a strong intellectual bond of love influenced by logic too. Over analyzing could be an issue, right? But you're gonna get your happily ever after. You're stepping into your happily ever after future filled with so much joy and personal fulfillment. I like that. We're gonna end that there. Oh, I'm married. Okay. You will either take your relationship to the next level or you will get married. There's much to celebrate. All right, there's so much to celebrate. Thank you so much for tuning in. And like I said, I hope this is very helpful, healing, evolutionary. Eat the fucking mana, watch it back as much as you want. Timestamps will be included eventually. Like, if I don't get to it, you can help me with those kind of things. Just go to a previous video, you know what I mean? And see how it is at timestamp things, and then have fun in the comments too. You know, release it up and help me out too. You know what I'm saying? Because so much going on. So here we go. Voice activation. I speak my truth even if I'm bullshit. Well, thank you so much. Until next time. Vote for me, influence me TV, reality TV. I wanna be on TV.